What's going on, everyone? This is Zach, and today we are going to talk about the new information we got about Pokemon Champions in this latest Pokemon Presents. My reaction is uploading as we speak, and this is my second time recording half of the video because my electric company decided to change my meter outside in the middle of me recording it the first time. So like and subscribe. But first of all, Pokemon Champions looks good. It's exciting to see. And so one of the first things I noticed here is, let's bring up the moves, is the animations. So like the animations are still kind of from the viewpoint of the trainer. I hope we get some of the animations that we saw more like Sword and Shield. So the first thing I want to note is that we have the wording extremely effective and super effective. So we now have new text boxes, info prompts on whether a move is 2 times effective or 4 times super effective. And so this will be good for new people coming in. They definitely want people to have an easier time getting started because this game is launching on mobile. So they're hoping that more people will get into competitive battling. And so these prompts are helpful and these are new. Before, they would just both be listed as super effective. And if we go over to, I think it was, and with superior, we have the mostly ineffective and not very effective. So this is probably for the ×2 resistance and the ×4 resistance. We see that it's going against a Scizor. So Leaf Storm is resistant to steel and bug. So this is definitely the ×4 resistant. So once again, just little stuff here that makes it a little better to see. And then you'll also see this when you're selecting the move in doubles. So we got the intro and stuff. Assembling your team. Expand your Pokemon roster with new friends. You can bring some of your past partners into Pokemon Champions through Pokemon Home, and you can recruit Pokemon from the game itself. So there'll be 2 different ways that you could recruit Pokemon within the game. And once again, this is a way to make starting the game without having that background of Pokemon Home and all these extra Pokemon from previous games easier for newer people to join. I would have to say, like, you're probably going to get like 7 like to begin with. Like, you'll probably get enough points to recruit like a whole team. And so you have trial recruitment is a temporary one. It's only lasting 7 days from the screenshot. You have a Pokemon join your team for a trial period. You can battle with it right away and test whether it will suit your strategy. You can use trial recruitment once a day without using victory points, known as VP. Or you can do a permanent recruitment. Permanent recruitment is once you've found a Pokemon that's a good match for you, it can be added to your team permanently. To do so, you'll need to use victory points. So you can test out a Pokemon with the trial recruitment. You only get 1 a day. But if you like it and you want to add it into your box, you can make it a permanent recruitment. There's a little bit more that we'll talk about later on, but the trial recruitment here is how people will get Pokemon. And I just want to know how transferring from home works. Because it says like once you move them in, you can't move it out. Does it like make a copy, or is it like a permanent transfer? Because there's certain Pokemon, you know, like your shiny legendaries and like gift Pokemon that you don't want in there permanently. But permanent rentals will cost 1,000 points. Here we see the box, and this is another one of my concerns here when we look at holding Pokemon, is that one, it says held items, and you see that all these Pokemon, there's no item next to them, so they don't have items. You don't see what item is listed here on the Pokemon stats, but I don't remember if that was there anyway. But my main concern is this 15 out of 30. You only get 1 box, it looks like. 1 box of Pokemon. So that's 5 teams. But if you want to have like a mon that you can flex within a team based on how you're playing, it's going to be very limited. I think that this will be one of the ways that they make money, right? They'll probably make money by offering a subscription that opens you up to more boxes, or you could just buy the boxes outright. So this is going to be a mobile game, so they have to make money off of it somehow. I don't know if they're charging a price. They haven't really announced that yet. But yeah, they're going to, you're limited on boxes. So I wonder how they're going to do with that. They'll probably make money through selling more boxes available in trainer items. Next up, let's talk about how you train your Pokemon, because that's going to be a big deal in this game. And that's going to be one thing that a lot of people are excited about. You're going to be able to tweak your stat points in a way so you can fine tune and quickly train your Pokemon. Before, in previous games, you would need a multitude of items to do this, or just make a new Pokemon outright. And so, tailor your team's skills and training features of Pokemon Champion. By using victory points, you can hone your Pokemon's attack, defense, and other stats. You can even alter their abilities and moves. You can customize your team to match your battle style. Though remember, you can't train a Pokemon during their trial recruitment period. So it seems like up here, when you borrow a Pokemon on a trial period, it's going to have a set stat limit. It's going to have recommended stats probably. And from there, you're going to be able to tweak it. So I wonder, it won't be as good if they started at 0. So I would have to say that they're probably going to give it a pre-recommended like move set and stats, you know, because you can't alter them. And how are you supposed to properly test them if they aren't like, you know, trained properly? So I would have to assume that rental Pokemon, trial Pokemon will have a already like established moveset and stuff. And one thing I want to note here is that you get 66 points, but if you look at the Gardevoir here, it's got 32 in special attack. It did have 32 in HP. They're moving the 32 to speed, just right there. And then they are having 2 points in special defense. Now, usually with a 252 Mon, this is 1 point. So it seems like instead of the EVs being like making the stats weird for max, it looks like all Pokemon are just going to get an overall 66 stat points. Now we know that the nature is still going to boost it in some way. Those stat points won't count towards your stat point adjustments. And it seems like we're going to get an extra stat point. So 252 Mon are going to get an extra stat point. You could put 1 in special defense and 1 in defense. This won't be that big of a deal, but at the same time, it also is, because you're getting a whole extra stat point out of it. But is this going to really affect that much calculations? Not too often. We also see here that you can change your nature, you can change your ability, and let's take a look at the overview of that. Okay, so here we see the overall total of what it takes to adjust this Gardevoir here. They moved the 252 are 32 stat points out of HP, and they put it into speed. And we see that it costs 64 victory points to do that. So it's going to be 2 victory points for every 1 stat point that you move. And as we can see, they didn't take it away when they didn't charge you for moving it out of HP. They only charge you when you're adding it. So this will be good for fine tuning your Pokemon. It'll only cost you a couple of stat points here and there if you want to move some stuff over. So 2 victory points per stat point. The nature is going to be 200 victory points, and the ability is going to be 400. I don't know if like the hidden ability is going to cost more. Is Trace isn't the hidden ability. No. So I don't know if the hidden ability is going to cost more, but I would have to say probably not. And each move is going to be 100. So if you need to fully deck out a Pokemon, if you need to put all of its EVs in, change its nature, change its ability, and change all of its moves, it should cost around 1,200 victory points to fully deck out a Pokemon, make it competitively ready. I don't know how much we earn playing the game, so that will depend and see how hard it is to actually fully stat out a Pokemon. But another thing I want to notice here is that these moves are the base PowerPoint level, base PP level. If we go to Showdown here and we check out Moonblast, it says that it's 24, while on Champions here, it's only 15. And so that is how many PowerPoints you get without the PP ups. I hate saying this on recording, but this is gonna change a couple of things, because moves like Protect that you want a lot of, it might make it harder for stall, recovery, and other healing moves. You're not going to be able to spam them as much. This might be an effort to make the game more streamlined, make the game quicker, discourage stall approaches. But I don't know if this is good or not. It's not too often that I use a move past its original PowerPoints, but it's one of those things as a VGC player, you always want to either close to max out, like you usually don't ever want just like the base PowerPoints for an attacking move, that is. And Protect. There's things like Trick Room where like you are only clicking Trick Room like maybe 1 or 2 times in a match, so you don't need to max out the PowerPoints on that. But having this PowerPoint adjustment, we haven't seen a way yet, so it could be there is a way to do it and we just haven't seen it yet. But if it's just down to the base PowerPoint moves, that's going to be, you know, a little off. Like, let's look at Psychic. Psychic is 16, so yeah, from the base of like 10. So that's going to be I don't want to say an issue, but it will definitely be a change that people will have to get used to on certain things, unless it's just another mode. Enjoy Pokemon battles. 3 battle modes and 2 formats. There are 3 different modes of Pokemon battles: ranked battles, casual battles, and private battles. So this is the same type of battles we've always had, where you can do a private match, you can play casuals where it's not ranked, and then you can do ranked. You can challenge these modes in both single battles and double battle formats. So ranked battles. In ranked battles, you'll test your skills against Pokemon trainers from all over the world. Your rank will change depending on your battle results. This way, you're sure to experience intense battles against trainers. Yada yada yada. It's ranked battles. It's ranked battles. You can obtain victory points after your matches, and notice how it doesn't say that you obtain victory points in casual battles. So if you do want to keep gaining victory points to customize and EV your Pokemon, you're going to have to play on ladder. There are a lot of players here that will just, you know, build their team and just go to a tournament. So if you want to keep customizing your Pokemon, you're going to have to keep grinding, which is interesting that they're kind of making it a requirement to play ranked battles if you want to keep making new Pokemon. Private battles. I like this map. This map here looks more Pokemon than this one. I don't know. Maybe it's the floor. The floor is doing a little much for me. But power up with victory points. Victory points can be gained from ranked battles and other places in Pokemon Champions. You'll need VP to recruit and train Pokemon. So there will be other ways to earn victory points. But here's an important part. Victory points cannot be directly purchased. So keep battling and gaining victory points to power up your Pokemon team even more. So you're gonna have to battle. You're gonna have to play ranked online if you want to keep using it. I don't know. Coming 2026. This is the big bummer of this trailer. I really thought it was shadow dropping. I thought this is how we were going to see our competitive, our VGC play out. But I think looking here, we're going to see this as the place for VGC. I don't know when they're going to start it, but I'm excited. I'm really excited. It looks really cool. And being able to tweak Pokemon easier, there's still a lot of questions, right? How do we get items? We probably have to buy them with victory points. My biggest question is the PowerPoint limit and the box size and how we transfer Pokemon in. Because, you know, I'm not putting my shiny Kyogre in here if I'm never going to be able to take it out, right? But what do you think? What are your concerns? The box limit is definitely something that I really wonder about. I'm not super worried about the recruitment. They might have events where like you can recruit like special Pokemon. And I would have to say there's probably like going to be objectives. Like I would not be surprised if I saw like a season pass, which could maybe get you a permanent recruitment voucher, or like extra victory points, trainer items, Pokemon items, maybe like some kind of tag or ID. They definitely have to make money off of this somehow. And I think one way they're going to do it is they're probably going to make you pay for having more Pokemon, more boxes. Or maybe they just don't want you to have a lot of Pokemon in here, but I feel like that's I'm going to want to have a lot of Pokemon in here. I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below. What do you think? I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. But yeah, that's all for Pokemon Champions, unfortunately, for now.